Sometimes in our lives we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me. Hi, I'm Father Tom Casey. I'm with you from Dublin in Ireland, and that's a great song by the late Bill Withers, a song called Lean on Me. I've chosen that song because today I want to talk about the first word of the Lord's Prayer, the hour in Our Father. And I chose Lean on Me because the hour in Our Father shows that we're interconnected, that we lean on each other, that we rely on each other, that we're community, that no man is an island, as the poet once said. And I've chosen this prayer, the Our Father, because it's a prayer that we're all familiar with, and it can really lead us deeply into the experience of praying if we take it at a slow pace, if we relish and savor each word. And today I want to relish and savor that very first word of the prayer, the word our. And this prayer is marvelous because it's really a summary of the entire gospel. Now, God is anything but a lonely bachelor up in the sky. God is already community. God is in relationship. God is Trinity, one God but three persons. The Father is continually giving all of himself to the Son. The Son is continually receiving everything from the Father and giving everything in return. And out of that amazing self-giving between Father and Son, there's the Spirit, the third person of the Blessed Trinity, who is equal in majesty and glory to the Father and the Son. So the Jewish philosopher and thinker Martin Buber once said, "In the beginning is relation." And that's true. In the beginning is relation. So it's always we, us, we talk to the Father. And, if we can say consciously and intentionally that very first word in the Lord's Prayer, the word our, well, we can include every human being in it. And not just every human being, we can include every creature. We can include all of creation. We can include the birds of the air, the flowers of the fields, the beasts around us, the highest mountains, the deepest valleys, the stars of the galaxies and the sands of the seashores. Everything can be brought into that word our. And that's because God is not just my God, God is our God. And the fascinating thing about this prayer, the Our Father, is that just before it rises to Father, with the word Father, it comes from our. It's rooted in us, and it's rooted in all of creation. So we never pray alone, even if we're socially isolated because of coronavirus and COVID-19. We're not alone because of this word, our. So I can pray for others, and when I do, my prayer can have a huge impact. Now, just to illustrate that, let me take the example of what they call, the butterfly effect. It's this phenomenon where a little butterfly flapping its wings somewhere on the planet can cause something to happen somewhere else, and eventually, through a series of chain reactions, I guess, a powerful tornado can arise in another part of the earth just because of the flapping of that butterfly's wings. It sounds somewhat incredible, hard to believe, but then it sounds hard to believe that a single bat transmitted a virus to a person in Wuhan, China, apparently. And because of that single bat, more than half the world is in lockdown. So that's an example of the butterfly effect. We tend to think that that history is changed by powerful leaders, by devastating earthquakes, by impressive events. But it's often perhaps these little things that have a much bigger impact than we ever imagine. And so when we pray this prayer, the Our Father, it too can have an amazing impact. Not just because it's not simply because we're interconnected, but also and primarily because we're connected together with the Father. And so I'd like to finish by praying a prayer to the Father. It's from the Bible. It's from St. Paul's letter to the Ephesians in the New Testament. And it's in chapter 3 of Paul's letter to the Ephesians. It's a prayer that Paul makes to the Father. And today I'd like to make that prayer for you. Here's what St. Paul writes. For this reason I kneel before the Father, from whom every family in heaven and on earth is named, that the Father may grant you in accord with the riches of his glory to be strengthened with power through his Spirit in your inner self, and that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith, that you, rooted and grounded in love, may have strength to comprehend with all the holy ones what is the breadth and length and height and depth, and to know the love of Christ that surpasses all knowledge, so that you may be filled with the utter fullness of God. So that's my prayer for you today as we have reflected together on the hour in Our Father. Sometimes in our lives we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me. Thank you very much. God bless you. Goodbye.